Does it feel like currently you're in limbo, or you're in this void where, you know, it's like you're not super driven towards anything in particular? You're kind of at a standstill, and it just feels like the motivation that normally drives us is not there anymore. And it's almost like the fight, the fear, and the anger that used to drive us in certain directions or away from certain things are not there anymore. It's like our world is completely like not the same as how we used to see it. There's a lot of things that seem corrupt, and it feels like, you know, certain fear tactics that used to almost kind of like guide us into, oh, you got to spend money on this just in case to protect yourself from what if this happens. You know, even the cost of living, everything's going up so high that it's almost like, really? Like, why do we have to spend money on things just in case something happens? And again, it just feels like there's all, like, people are awakening. It feels like there's this massive awakening going on, but even though people are very aware of all these things that don't make sense anymore in the world, that used to just be normal. We used to just do these things because that's what we did, and we were very driven in a lot of ways. And now it feels like we're kind of like questioning it. Like, wait, what? Especially since prices are going so high on everything. So people are really starting to question things and wonder, why is it that we're basically out earning money to just live? That's what it feels like. We're not earning money anymore, like extra money to go out and do enjoyable things or to, you know, have fun. At least that's not what it feels like for a lot of people that I know. And I'm just curious if that's something that you're experiencing, because again, it feels like people are really kind of awakening to the current situation and wondering, what the heck? And because of that, there's this void or this limbo period where people are not as driven to go towards certain goals, because, you know, that the motivation and the reasons before made sense, and now things don't make sense. And so it's almost like we're going more inward and going more like tapping in and connecting to a higher source, because we're questioning everything, including our faith. Like, you know, what is it that's really the point of being a human and the experience that we're going through? Is it really to become a multimillionaire? And I'm not saying, like, of course there's great things about that. You know, the experiences you can have just by becoming, you know, having a lot of money. That's great. However, I'm not sure if that really brings happiness either. Are you feeling fulfilled? Do you feel like in this lifetime so far, what you've accomplished and everything that you've done, do you feel like your cup is full? You know, I have a lot of things that I've accomplished that I definitely feel proud of, and that I definitely feel like, wow, I got through that. I survived that, or man, I really accomplished that. That was awesome. That was a great experience. But right now, in the time that we're in, it just doesn't feel like we're in this thriving time. And I'm not speaking for everybody. Maybe there are people who are, you know, thriving and really enjoying life. And I'm, you know, that's awesome. But at this point, you know, I'm just curious if other people are experiencing this, and if this is part of the awakening process, where it almost feels like certain things that used to light me up and get me all excited don't have that same effect anymore. It just feels like the motivation isn't the same that it used to be. And again, I feel like because I'm really giving myself this space to internalize and to really question, you know, what it is that I want out of life. And, you know, I feel like a lot of things in this life are distractions to us awakening and to us, you know, becoming aware of, you know, the higher powers that we have, the things that we can connect to. I feel like we've been stopped to do that, or like there's distractions happening to stop that from happening. Because, you know, it's kind of like if the masses start doing that and really tapping into what we're capable of and the things that we can do, can you imagine, like, as a humanity, like what we can do together when we do tap into love, absolute love and acceptance, and, you know, acceptance for ourselves, acceptance for where we're at, acceptance for, you know, the people around us and who they are and what they are, and love, like just loving yourself, loving God, you know, the higher powers that be, loving each other, and not having judgment. Imagine, you know, and I feel like that's where we're headed. That's what we're doing. And so there's this period of time where there's this void, and there's this, it doesn't feel empty necessarily. It just feels like, you know, there's this time that we're given to go inward and to look at ourselves and look at our society and look at what's going on. That's what it feels like. So I'm curious, are you experiencing a void or feel like you're in limbo right now? Do you feel like, you know, you're awakening? Does that part of the awakening process? I'm curious if that's what your, you know, what your experience is, what your, you know, what's your consensus on that? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear. Of course, remember that you matter. You are an incredible human being, and you know, it's time to tap into that love and that acceptance. It's time to, you know, really accept the void and just be in it and just be. That's such an uncomfortable place for a lot of people, because we're so used to taking action, doing things, you know, distractions. And so when we're in the void, it feels like we're not doing anything, but we actually are. We're revving up. We're getting ready to create. We're getting ready to be in a different vortex, a different time frame, a different frequency, where we are creating, where we are in this love state, where we are in this acceptance place, where we are enjoying our now moment. That's what I feel like that's what we're doing. So anyway, give this video a like button if you agree. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And thank you so much for watching. It's great to be back. It's been an interesting period of time. You see my new my new space now. It's a little different than it was before, but I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.